Welcome to a Prevent Connect podcast, where we explore the prevention of violence against women. This is a project of the California Coalition Against Sexual Assault.
Hello and welcome to another Prevent Connect podcast where we highlight new research, emerging trends, and exciting efforts in sexual and domestic violence prevention. I'm Ashley Klein-Jimenez, and today I'm joined by my wonderful co-host and colleague, Tori Vandeland. So in the spring of this year, the University of Michigan's Injury Prevention Center held a summit on the prevention of campus sexual assault. The summit brought together practitioners, researchers, faculty, students, and other campus stakeholders to hear from leading experts on the most current research and science on sexual assault prevention on college campuses. We're really happy today to be joined by Dr. Erin Bonar, Assistant Professor in the Department of Psychiatry and Addiction Center, and the Sexual Violence Content Lead for the University of Michigan's Injury Prevention Center, to learn more about the summit. So first, Erin, I want to just welcome you to this Prevent Connect podcast, and thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. This was just a really important outlet, and I'm excited to share some information with you all.
Yay, great. Well, so I'd love to just get started by asking you to share a little bit about the University of Michigan Injury Prevention Center and the areas of focus at the center.
Absolutely. So University of Michigan has really been a national leader in injury prevention focused on violence and transportation safety for over 20 years. And more recently, our multidisciplinary center received funding from the Centers for Disease Control as an injury control research center. And what that has allowed us to do is to expand that range of topics that we have expertise on to include so many different areas of injury prevention. So now we have work focusing on sexual violence, on opioid overdose, on concussion, falls, dating violence, just so many different areas of injury prevention. And in 2018, we actually officially changed our name to the University of Michigan Injury Prevention Center to just reflect our broad emphasis on prevention.
So, Erin, prior to hosting the Sexual Assault Prevention Summit, what other sexual assault prevention initiatives or efforts had the Injury Center been involved in on campus?
Through large part in partnership with our University of Michigan Sexual Assault Prevention and Awareness Center. One of the first things that we did was partner with the center and our university's Global Communications Office to create a campus-wide advertising and social media campaign about sexual violence. Another thing that we did, we connected to the NCAA around sport concussion. But then that led to us talking about sexual violence prevention and sexual assault prevention with the NCAA among athletes and students. And we all got together and contributed to the NCAA athletics-focused toolkit that is called Sexual Violence Prevention and Athletics Toolkit for a Healthy and Safe Culture. Another thing we've done is partner with the Sexual Assault Prevention and Awareness Center on our campus to take a data-driven approach to evaluating our campus's universal first-year prevention programs for sexual assault prevention. And we published the results of that evaluation in the journal Sex Education this year. And we found favorable support for our programming in terms of increasing students' awareness of campus resources, which is just critical to know what's available to you on campus. One of the last areas is a number of educational initiatives. So we have a massive open online course about pediatric injury prevention, but we made sure to include sexual violence and campus sexual assault in that course. Other things we've done is have distinguished faculty seminars. We bring people to the campus to tell us about their research in this area. And really rewarding for me has been to work with interns, so students who can come work on some of our center research projects around sexual violence prevention and getting to mentor them as they follow their career path in this area.
It sounds like you all have been focused on sexual assault. The summit, it seems like, really took this idea of focusing on the research and the science behind prevention to a new level. So I'm just really curious in how the summit came about.
Sure. Our center has made it a priority to get people together on injury-focused topics, to share the science, and to network, and really have those critical conversations that we think move the field forward. And recognizing that some of our prior summits on other injury topics had brought together and made powerful connections. And so we really wanted to get together and shine a spotlight on the current state of the science, bring together the leading researchers to carve a way forward so that we can coalesce our knowledge around preventing sexual assault on campuses. Concurrently, there were members of our center who were also involved in planning what's called a Michigan meeting. This is like a 3-day conference, and that was focused broadly on gender-based violence. And what was really great about the summit and the Michigan meeting was we could work together to synergize these events and hold them consecutively so we can maximize audience involvement in both, because we know there's such a crossover in these topics. And it worked out really well, and we were just really pleased with being able to have such a large representation of people come to the campus and engage around this topic.
So, Tori, I know that you have some questions. I want to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Ashley, and thank you, Erin, for joining us today. It's so great to hear about how the summit brought together all of these leading researchers in the field of sexual assault prevention. So besides having a lineup of experts, what were your goals behind bringing all of these researchers to the table?
One of the biggest goals was to bring awareness to prevention science on this important topic. Sometimes we're really great about collaborating and talking to others, and other times we get siloed. We really wanted to get people together who were leading the field to look at the current science and to say, what do we know about this problem from a prevention science perspective? What are the directions we need to go? What are the gaps and priorities? And we wanted to have this forum where all who were invested in resolving this problem could connect.
I think that's really great. What were some of the research topics that came up at the summit that you all discussed, as well as what were some themes that you noticed?
You know, we had a whirlwind day. There was a wealth of information covered. We have videos and coverage and abstracts from poster sessions on our website, which is injurycenter.umich.edu. We loved the overarching perspective that Sarah DeGue from the Center for Disease Control provided. She put a public health framework to the day and really underscored the necessity of primary prevention. And we really see that prevention being the thing that underlies all of this in terms of a theme of the day. We had an exciting series of talks, of course, from leading research that really dived into some of the factors that put people at risk for sexual assault, and alcohol was definitely a hot topic because it's so common on college campuses as well. And interesting to me, we heard about how sexual assault can affect populations differently, such as LGBT students or those with disabilities, and those who maybe are in different types of campus contexts, like historically Black colleges and universities. And I think finally, I really enjoyed the overview of several different intervention programs. These included Safer Bars, the EAA Flip the Script program, Green Dot, and a new program being disseminated in campus health centers. We hear about programs, we might read about them, but these researchers and speakers brought them to life. You really got a sense of what was going on, and I think that stimulated a lot of creative thinking about new ideas or ways to take these ideas back to individuals' own campuses and contexts.
It sounds like everything is exciting, but I'm wondering what was most exciting for you?
What I loved seeing was in the breaks and in the moments at lunch and at the poster session, researchers and students and campus professionals. I mean, we had campus security members there. We had administrators, and seeing people connect and to share ideas. That was just really exciting to witness and to also be part of some of those conversations, because I think that that's what stimulates us moving forward in solving this problem and breaking down those silos like you mentioned.
So I'm really happy you all were able to facilitate that. And I'm wondering, what feedback have you received from participants?
Yeah, so we had a really positive response with over 75% of attendees saying that they were going to change their practice because they attended the event. And 88% of attendees said this on a rating form, this conference was good or excellent. So we were able to get some really good feedback and thoughtful comments from a number of attendees who really appreciated the emphasis on prevention and science. I think we really shined a spotlight on that, and that resonated with people who may have otherwise been missing it in their day-to-day practice.
That's so great to hear that people are really taking what they learned at the summit to heart and going to bring that back and apply it to their work after the summit. So thank you for sharing that. I'm going to pass it back over to Ashley.
Thanks, Tori. So, Erin, are there any other materials from the summit that folks can access now or perhaps in the future?
Absolutely. There's a lot of information on injurycenter.umich.edu. Look at our events and choose this summit on sexual assault prevention. You're going to find slides from speaker presentations, videos of some of the presentations, and we're putting together and will be released very soon a short video vignette where many of our speakers sat down and told us what's most important to them, what are the next steps forward in this field, how do we work together in ending sexual assault on college campuses, and that's a really powerful message in a short video.
That video vignette sounds like such a wonderful addition to the field and the work that folks are doing. So real excited to see that. So our last question for you is, what are the next steps for the Injury Center in terms of sexual assault prevention?
Absolutely. We're continuing to support science in this area by funding some exploratory projects around looking at what do students want in sexual assault prevention programs and how do we, adapt our current services and improve things for students. We also offer technical consultation and support to other partners who might be interested in growing their work in this area and are willing to consult and talk with people about that. And exciting for me is training students in this area through injury prevention internships and fellowships. So we have a number of faculty here that are willing to be mentors and help people develop their interests and their expertise in this field, and we're going to continue to be a place for students to come and learn. And on our website, we'll have information about those opportunities as they become available.
Thank you so much for taking time to have this conversation with us and to share with our listeners about the incredible work that you all are doing at the University of Michigan Injury Prevention Center and about the summit. We were sad that we didn't know prior because we really would have loved to have been there. Just reading through the researchers that were there, it was like, wow.
I was starstruck. It was a really great lineup, and we had just so much fun.
Well, thanks again, and we will definitely check in with you down the road.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for listening to this Prevent Connect podcast. Prevent Connect is a project of the California Coalition Against Sexual Assault, with funding from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The views presented on Prevent Connect are not necessarily the views of the United States government, the CDC, or CalCASA. To learn more about Prevent Connect, visit www.preventconnect.org. For more information about CalCASA's mission, or to show your support, visit calcasa.org. That's CalCasa.org.